So this is my trip to the jungle for my Jalan on Wednesday with my class. And we went on a hike right through the jungle and through some rice fields. But it was a very weird path. I'm pretty sure we were making it as we went because it was a very thin path that was hard to get through at most points. Um, but yeah, it was really nice, and halfway through we got to crack open some coconuts and we learned to split them with a knife ourselves and drink them and eat them and stuff. So, yeah. We saw some really nice views along the way, too. And by the end, we were all soaking wet and really muddy and really sweaty. It was a long hike. So then on Saturday, um, me and a small group of people went on a day trip to a bunch of different places in West Bali. So we spent our whole Saturday and we did a bunch of stuff. We went to this really cool rice field and we met a Indonesian rice farmer, and I got to introduce myself in Indonesian. So I said, "Siapa nama Anda?" which means, "What is your name?" And then I said, "Nama saya Quinn." And I might be pronouncing that a bit wrong, but yeah. So we got to do that, and that was really cool. And there he is, farming. So then we drove a bit more and we found this really pretty beach. And we had lunch next to this beach, which was pretty good. And yeah, I got to go swimming. The sand was really pretty. It was black and gold. It was really nice. And then we got to learn how to make chocolate. So these are cacao beans or fruit, and this is me picking one with the shears with the cacao farmer. And so that's the first step, is to actually get the bean. And this is what it looks like. You have to pick it when it's reddy yellow. And yeah, that's what I did. So this is what it looks like when you open it up, and you can actually kind of eat those things. They're very sweet, like some sort of sweet fruit, and you only chew on just the very outside because the inside's like really, really bitter because that's what you make the chocolate from, and the outside's like a sweet fruit. And so then what they do is they split them and then they lay them on the ground for a bit to dry out. They also have papaya growing here. And so now we're going to where they actually dry it out a lot more, other than leaving it on the sun, on the ground. So this is where they dry it out, and it usually takes about 5 days to dry out the cacao, so it's ready for the next step. And yeah. So these are the cacao beans, or like the inside of those little things that you saw earlier, the white things. So I tried one, and it's quite bitter. It doesn't really taste like chocolate. It's like a really bitter thing with like a tiny hint of chocolate flavor. I can't explain it, but it doesn't really taste like it yet. And these are all the outside peels, which I use for fertilization for the plants. So it's like the outside shells of those brown things. Then this is what they use to kind of like dry it to get all the moisture out and to really make sure it's ready. So to to like toast it, you know. And it comes out that end. And this is what they put it in um, to make it into like a paste, like a cacao paste. And so that's the paste there. It's like a, yeah. And that's a mixer where they mix in butter and other ingredients. I also mixed a machine where it deshells it, but yeah. And this mixes the chocolate so that it actually stays hard once it becomes the bar. So it mixes it for a long time, and like keeps it warm and stuff. So that's an important step so that it doesn't melt. And this is me putting it into the tray. So yeah. And that's how you make chocolate. And so then we got to try this hot chocolate that they made for us. That they're still like gonna make the powder for selling. It's not ready yet, but it was so good. Best hot chocolate. And this is all their products. They make milk, 90%, and I think 60%. So then we went to this fish farm where they farm fish that you can eat. So these are the babies of the fish. And this is like their midlife, I guess. So when they're medium sized. And I don't remember what type of fish it is, otherwise I would tell you. And this is the mother fish. It's quite big, and it was really cool to see. And then we went up to this rooftop and had some lunch, but I was not hungry because we had had an earlier lunch, but we had that fish. And this lady is showing us how to make coconut oil. So first she cuts the coconuts, and that's just a little, it's like a baby coconut growing inside a coconut. And I got to hold her really cute puppy for almost the whole time, and it was the cutest puppy ever. So yeah, that little white thing was the ball inside the coconut, and it tastes like coconut. Then she shreds pieces of coconut with this machine. And then she puts the shredded coconut in with some coconut water, and she starts to knead it so that it mixes together. And apparently this is also how you could make coconut milk if you wanted to. So that's me trying it out. It's very warm. And then she takes the pulp out with a cloth. And so every time she also buys or whatever coconut oil she makes, she puts it up in that little prayer table to ask the gods if it's okay and if it's good. And then she sets her coconut oil in those shelves. So, yeah. Then we went to an animal rehabilitation center, and there was monkeys, and I forget what that animal is called, but it's apparently in the armadillo family. That's what they told me. And an iguana, and a bat. And this little monkey was really friendly. The other two just like to hiss at you, so this was my favorite. And this is the bat. Bats actually can't fly at this low, like this low on the ground, so they have to be higher in order to fly, so that's why he's not flying away. I just learned that. And here's a cobra. It's kind of scary, but luckily it's in a cage. The guy who used to look after the cobras here actually passed away from a cobra bite. And here's a python. Pythons don't normally bite, or their bite's not poisonous. They usually strangle, so that's why it's mostly safe to do that if you have lots of people. And it's me on the end. We're all holding the python after its bath. And here's a little crocodile. And then I got to hold a smaller python, which was really fun. So my Jalan and my Saturday were great. Sunday I wasn't feeling super awesome, so I just kind of stayed at home. This week I get Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off of school because of holidays. So thanks for watching. See ya. Bye.